Our fellow traders, yep, that's right. Check your bags at the gate. You're not going to need them on this trip. Too often, we have these bags and we fill them with this stuff that we think we're going to need. And we've spent a lot of money, we've invested, a lot of ourselves in this. And when we go on the trip, we don't want to check it. See, we're getting on a plane, we want to take it with us, we want to take it on the plane. We want to put it in that overhead storage bin. We want it close to us because we feel at any point we may need what's in there. But the reality is we don't. Okay, so it doesn't matter what kind of bag it is. It could be a, let me see, what is this? A Vera Bradley or Louis Vuitton or whatever. And really it's not the bag. That's what we feel is worth everything. It's what we have in it. It's all the stuff that we've invested in over the years. All of the courses, all of the mentorship that we've invested in, all of the communities that we've been in. We add up all of that. And it's so valuable and sentimental to us. We keep it in our bag and we want to keep it close to us. But on this trip, follow me on my roadmap to success, you don't need any of it. So check it at the gate, leave it home. Just toss it out. We don't. Sorry, that's my wife's bag. She'll kill me if I mess it up. We don't need any of that. So just get rid of it. Because what it does is actually a roadblock to what we're trying to accomplish. And we see that in this simple exercise where I gave you a predetermined trade plan that you have an ironclad entry signal. You have a set risk and a set reward. All you have to do is execute the plan. Enter when you're supposed to, either exit at your profit target or at your stop, whatever happens. But what's happening to you? You're bringing in everything that you've ever learned. Somebody sent me a message about some damn stochastics. I don't even teach that. Okay, it's not part of what we're doing. So leave that stuff, box it up, whatever. And when you get to your destination, which in our case is profitability, our roadmap to success is leading us to profitability. When we get there, open it up and then determine what you need out of it. I guarantee you 90% of that you're going to toss out because that is not what you need to get where you want to be. Okay, it's about shedding all of this unwanted stuff. We're going to travel light and we're going to put everything into what we're doing. Because I'm going to tell you, if you can't do it, if you don't develop the discipline, you don't develop the patience, I can't see you succeeding in this industry. It's got to come. Now, yeah, some of you, you've been here, you've been there, you're just like, I can hit winning trades, but I just can't consistently do it. There's a reason why what you're doing is not consistent. It's up here. It's all up here. Once we fix this, you're going to be able to spot any issues you have. You'll be able to help other people because you'll be able to automatically see what they're doing. It's not getting them to where they want to be. So guys, shed all of this. Don't bring it on this trip, please. Because everything that you need, we're going to give it to you. And I guarantee you, this is going to be the best deal, the best value in this industry you're ever going to get. And I guarantee you, you follow it step by step. The people that are doing it can't believe, how much it's helped them. The ones that are doing it right, the ones that are honest with themselves, that didn't come with all of this baggage. Or they listened to me and left it, or checked it, put it out of their sight. You do that, this trip's going to be enjoyable. So, to take a phrase from one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite artists, Snoop Dogg in Soul Plane, in a minute, I'm gonna flip them switches and get this bitch pumping and jumping. So screw your shit on tight and enjoy the flight. Alright guys, first I got a couple of emails from people asking what my total profit is year to date. So adding up February's profit and January's profit, we're at $11,659.70. And again, every one of those trades from January and February was taken in the chat room, real time, live. All of them's been recapped. So if you kept up with them, you know exactly where we are. But you know, January was a relatively slow month. Admittingly, I was going back and forth between the two accounts. I'm not doing that anymore. Whatever I'm doing, I'm not trying to, you know, split the thing anymore. You know, our main focus is on our small account. And, you know, this year we're starting with $5,000 a month. So we started with $5,000 in January. Started over again in February. We even had to wire out before the end of the month in February. So we're doing really, really good. It's been a really good year. I mean, it could have been better. There's some trades that I could have done a lot better on, but I am not complaining at all. We take what the market gives us. We deal with whatever mistakes we made, and we keep going. So almost $12,000 for 2 months. And, you know, we're trading a relatively small account. Now, you guys that may not have 5,000, you know, you may have 2,500, 3,000, 2,000. The beautiful thing about what we do is 100% scalable. So if I take 300 shares, you may only be able to take 100. The same skill applies. And I've proven that over and over and over again beyond a shadow of a doubt. Because the same way I traded with $1,000 is the same way I'm trading with 5,000. The only difference is I can incur a little bit more risk. So instead of $50 per trade, I can risk $150 per trade. But when you're trading with smaller share size, your risk is going to be relative. So it doesn't matter what you're trading. You can still use the same strategies and the same principles that all apply. You know, you may not be able to trade the same stock I'm trading, but there are stocks on our watch list that, hell, most of the stocks on our watch list do better than the stocks that I'm trading. So you probably don't want to pick the same stock I trade. Trade another stock on my watch list. You know, so, but they're there. The opportunity is there. It's just all about executing that trade plan. And you're going to get there. So just wanted to share that with you guys that, you know, asked me about where I was. Okay, Friday. This is the trade from Friday, or the trades from Friday. You know, I didn't do a recap because we hit the road early. I had to take off and didn't get to do a recap or anything on Friday. It's first day of the month, and it was very frustrating. Okay, very frustrating. Here we took the opening range breakdown. You know, here was the opening range low. Got in. Probably should have taken profit here, but I didn't. It popped back up on me. Ended up stopping me out, and so I had to reset. So I reset. Took profit here. It came back and stopped me out. Had to wait until we got back below this level. Got short again. Took some profit. It popped up and stopped me out again. It's like a carbon copy. As soon as I take profit, it decides it wants to come back, take me back out at break even. So this was just a cycle. I ended up getting in, covered some here. And once I got to this low, and it started to, you know, I started to see some buyers coming in. I'm like, I'm gonna take another profit. I'm gonna take 2 profit, you know, two hits here, because if it stops me back out, you know, at least I can say I hit 2 profit targets. And that's kind of the mindset that this thing had, that it gave me. And so I had to trade that way pretty much all day. And then here, you know, right before 11:30, you know, I had to stop. It stopped me out. You know, I had to go take dogs to the vet, you know, get some stuff ready so we can hit the road. And, you know, ended up with 165.08. Had I not got stopped out here, this probably could have been a good $300 to $400 day. But this one stop out, and had I taken profit here, if I had taken profit here and then stopped out at break even, that would have killed that loss. And, you know, would have been even though I had to trade this way, it would have been a decent day. So Friday didn't work out all that well for me, but 165.08 was good. So come Monday, here's a trade on Monday. Did not work at all. Here again, catching the opening range breakdown. I was patient. I didn't anticipate. I waited for it to break. We started to work, and it just got bought right back up and just kept going. So it wasn't nothing I did wrong. This is just one of those trades that didn't work. You know, here FL was a trade, it worked. You can't say it didn't work. It's just that my risk level was so tight, it took me out. And I meant to have it this tight. You know, sometimes I don't have it this tight, but I meant to have it this tight. You know, I could have taken 100 shares and this would have just worked out perfectly. But I was in 300 shares, had to manage my risk. So, you know, couldn't go any further. So that worked. This is just a trade that did not work. And we're going to have these. And you can't let one trade that doesn't work come in and say, oh, this strategy is no good. You could have 3 or 4 trades that don't work in a row. That doesn't mean the strategy doesn't work. It means the market is not conducive to the market at this time. But it will come back. It always does. The market's not going to run away from this. So, you know, when we have these, and that's part of what that exercise is supposed to do, is just to help you move on from a trade that didn't work. You just accept a trade that didn't work just as well as you accept a trade that does work. You know, yeah, we're going to cry, bitch, moan, and complain, but in our mind, we're just accepting it, you know, for what it is. So Monday was blah, just pretty much negated my Friday, and today was blah too. You know, here, same deal. I didn't take this opening range. I kind of missed this. What happened was this stock hit the scan after I had made my watch list. So when those stocks do that, I typically look for a secondary trade. Now this was a little late entry. You know, I should have gotten in as it was coming back down through this red to green. You know, I hesitated a little bit, so I didn't get as good an entry as I wanted to. But this was right on the edge of, you know, a couple ticks later, and I wouldn't have been able to get in this. But I got in, got the first cover, and damn if it didn't bounce back up, take me out at break even, and then go to work. Carbon copy of Friday. You know, carbon copy of Friday. And the market seems to be wanting to do this to me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how mad I made it, what I did to the market. But it's just crazy, you know, how this is happening to me. But, you know, and it'll go through cycles. So it may do this for a couple days to a week. And then next week, it won't do it, and things will just start working out perfectly. When this happens, you just don't change up what you do. Continue doing what you do. Continue trading like you're trading, managing your risk. You know, so what? This is a little base hit. So what? They all add up. You know, and eventually the volatility, the volume is going to be back, and you know, things are going to work out. So this just may be the slow week for the month. But we're always going to have those. All right, so TGT, this was the one I took out of the gate. Here's the opening range, 5-minute opening range. Got in when we broke it. Got the first cover. Almost got down to 74. It didn't quite do that. Came back, stopped me out, break even. And that was that. So 2 trades, no follow through. Complete garbage. Complete and utter garbage. So I did take one more trade. It was a reversal on AON. You saw how this sold off good. I don't know why I didn't pick up on this earlier, but this was a real nice sell off here. Would have been great to catch it, but we caught the reversal and was able to, you know, I got the first target. It didn't quite get to 160, almost did, but this was one of those reversals that just didn't have enough to get through the 9. What I've been seeing lately is these bouncing back and running all the way back through VWAP. It just in this case, this one didn't do it. It failed at the 9, so I went ahead and took the rest of it off. So not quite $100 on this, but it was worth a shot. The setup was good. Everything was in play. We just didn't get the follow through we wanted to, you know, complete the trade. So you can see a lot of trades on here. 15 tickets. That's about 5 or 6 more than I like to have in a day. You know, unless I'm locked into one stock. But you saw Friday was a high ticket day as well. So only 61.94. Didn't really make a whole lot on this, you know, today. It just wasn't. Today was just not working for me. You know, I had a lot of base hits, but when you have one that hits your, or pretty much comes close to your max loss, and then you get 3 that just don't really do anything, you're not going to make what you want out of it. So, but you got to accept those. I'm not going to let it affect me tomorrow, how I come in. I'm going to come in the same way, come in and trade. Because the same way I'm trading now is the same way I traded in February. And you saw we came up with, you know, a pretty good chunk of change in February. You know, almost made 10 grand in February. So it's not what we do. It's not how we're doing it. It's just that the market goes through its cycles. And right now it's trading sideways pretty much. Look at this, look at the spot on the daily chart. You know, you can see it's not really grinding up like it was. It's kind of trading sideways for the last 2 weeks. And it's just kind of the cycle that we're in. You know, once it gets moving, market's going to pick up some volatility. And it's going to be good for us. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any stocks that are moving. Look at this one. I mean, this one was solid. You know, but it wasn't a setup. It wasn't on our scan because it didn't start doing this until intraday. So I didn't spot this until it started hitting our reversal scan. You know, and it hit it multiple times through this sell-off. You know, but I didn't chase it. I waited for it to give me that setup, and I got a little piece, and you know, that's fine. So we've got to keep our head screwed on right. Don't start abandoning things, walking away just because we don't see the results when we want to see them. They're gonna come. You know, they're going to come.